Folks, welcome back to another episode of Epic Home Tours. We're back today at the TESORO, and we are going to be looking at their most elegant display suite. Folks, I'm telling you, it is so classy that it's criminal. This home feels like a penthouse at just about 2,000 square feet, 2 beds and a den. You get your own private garage for 2 cars and a locker. The designs are sophisticated, there's attention to detail, the material is fine, and the outdoor space is abundant. I mean, just look all around. We're literally by the water, by Falls Creek, and I feel like I'm 10 again at Science World. Apart from the refined lifestyle, the views are absolutely majestic. You get everything from mountain, water, shimmering city skyline, and some of Vancouver's most iconic landmarks from the comfort of your home. Or enjoy it from your 200 square foot balcony, fully equipped with gas, water hookup, and electrical plug. All right, folks, without further ado, let's go have a look. All right, folks, we're back again at the TESORO, but today we're looking at one of their most premium units. This one's still owned by Concert Properties, so as you can see, shoes off, don't mind the socks. As we make our way in, you already sense how much wider this hallway is. For those that watch our last episode at Unit 1004, incredible units. But, you know, again, first impressions are everything. And the moment I walk in, it just feels even brighter for the hallway, but it's a lot wider as well. Just to my left over here, there is a beautifully appointed laundry room, mud room, whatever you want to call it. Lots of cabinets, the side-by-side washer and dryer, and the hanger above. So super functional. Right away, I'm already looking at all this custom cabinets. Right behind here is their Savant Pro home automation computer, entertainment box, the full gambit. But you know, I love how even with the mechanical components, technological components of the home, it's very well organized and very seamless. You might just miss it if I didn't point it out. Again, a lot more spacious. You have the washer and dryer on the ground, side by side, just like a house, with the counter on top. And as you can see, the hangers right above. So super functional. Let's make our way back out. Over here, we have these beautiful, stunning polyform closets. And for those that have been watching the video, or you know, for those that just know me, I am a closet connoisseur. Search it up, it's a real thing. Everything has sensor lighting in it, so it's a nice touch. Even at night, or especially when the lights are already dim, you're entertaining, and they open this, it just sets the ambiance. And yes, even in the closets, there's ambiance. But take a look. Everything is super functional. Soft closing. When the lights are on, you have a bit of a silhouette as to the clothes that you have in there. So if you have a messy closet, it's not just gonna blatantly show through. So there's also an element of privacy as well. That feels great. Let's make our way down here. To my right, you have a very spacious powder room with the heated floors, the floating shelves, super spacious. I love what they did with the wallpaper. This is a show home display suite, so I don't believe that's going to be included in all their units. However, for this one, it's a bit extra special. Over here, we have this little seating area That is such a smart move, very intelligently designed and actually functional. It doesn't just look pretty. I can actually see people having to sit down here while they're putting on shoes or whichever. Over here in this hallway, this curves around. I love curvatures in property and in homes. We speak a lot about them, especially in more of the European style homes, but very rarely do you see that replicated in condos, especially modern condos. So this is really neat. In fact, this curved wall leads all the way down to your kitchen, family room, and so forth. But before we go down there, let's take a look in here. Folks, come on. This is incredible. Now this is a den, office space. I'm at a loss for words because it feels extremely spacious. I love what they did here. I could just work here for hours and hours and hours. I feel like this is the type of place that you're sitting down to close $10 million, $30 million deals. And look at these massive windows. You see right out to the new $2.2 billion St. Paul's Hospital. You see Pacific Central. You see the beautiful mountains, SFU, and the sky. And you also see Brentwood as well. So what a beautiful clearing. And they even have a TV up here. Very well appointed. And of course, if you want to hang out, or maybe you're having a Zoom meeting, you have your children want to come and speak to you while you're locked away doing your work. Super functional space. Why don't we make our way down here? Oh, gosh, just standing here. I'm already getting drawn down this way. Now to my right, there's one of the bedrooms. We'll get back to this a little bit later, but let's just, as we make our way down here, wow, it just opens up into one of the most iconic pieces of architecture in all of Vancouver. All of us that grew up in Vancouver will automatically recognize and think of Vancouver the moment you see this orb, and that's Science World. Now, don't get me wrong, there's so much to look at here, I don't even know where to start, but I guarantee that when you're here, that's probably gonna be where your gaze and your attention is drawn to. Take a look at that. You get the Science World orb, you get False Creek, the water, our great Canadian flags. You have the downtown city skyline and also the mountains wrapping all the way around. That is incredible. To my right, we have this bar area, super functional. Polyform did a lot of the interior design work, along with utilizing a lot of their pieces. Quality is immaculate, but take a look, this is so well done. I feel like, you could actually use this as a bar. I know this is a show home, so it's not gonna look like this in every unit. However, utilized very intelligently. And I think intelligent design's gotta be a theme of this. Now, the two biggest decisions we always make when we're here, do we start with the family room or do we start with the kitchen? And this time, it's tougher than ever before. Look, why don't we start with the kitchen, because we already talked a little bit about the views. We'll get back to that a little bit later. Take a look at this. So, first of all, very open kitchen space. I feel like you're able to cook. It's great that I feel it's tucked away in the corner. So, if it gets messy or anything like that, it's not too apparent. Although we do have a full island here as well. So if you needed some additional counter space, extremely functional. This is quartz, so very durable, double sinks. They have this again, this little bar area, breakfast bar. I think it's super smart. I think it's neat, especially if you don't have time to sit down at the dining table. Super functional. We have the Gaggenau appliances package. And of course, the polyform cabinetry. Lovely. That is just so functional. The cabinets are stunning. I mean, the quality itself, if you could just feel it. And you know, a lot of times when we talk about quality, look at that, sensor lighting. So at night, if only you were here to feel this, you'll see what I mean. We have the Gaggenau fridges. Look how massive they are. Fridge and freezer. And of course, we have the wine cooler as well. That marble, though, I have to say, from the last unit that we did a video on at 1004, completely different color scheme. That one was a lot darker. Personally, I do really like dark color schemes. Although, you know, these days, people in the design world, the trend is organic, subdued luxury, and also some lighter schemes. So this definitely has more adherence to that kind of trend in design, which is beautiful. I mean, take a look at this. This marble backsplash is so stunning. You have the gold veins, gold copper veins with a bit of the white. It just ties in so well, even with, you know, these copper stove element tops. There's barely any light switches anywhere, so because of that, you know, it just looks so flush and seamless. And the reason why there's almost no light switches were done by design. Concert always believes in order to get absolute beauty without losing functionality, the only way to do that is by implementing the best technology. So all the lighting systems, you know, and also the blinds, which are actually electric, Lutron shades, Lutron lighting, and also convenience-wise, we have the Savant Pro home automation. Take a look at this dining table as we make our way to the living room. Stunning. I mean, you know, they staged it very well. You know, even the pieces that they use are extremely elegant and also grand. You know, it makes such a statement. I mean, it's very, I would say it's very subdued. It's not anything that's too flashy. You don't have the glitz and glitter, but you know, just by looking at it and feeling it, the quality is certainly there. Essentially personifying, you know, this home as a whole. So I think that's great. Take a look at these. Holy moly, that is pretty significant. I haven't seen chandeliers like this before, but I like it. It has a bit of an industrial feeling to it, but you know, still modern. So it's not too rustic. It's kind of like the fine line between contemporary and rustic. Is there a word for contemporary and rustic? Contemporustic? Regardless, anyways, let's make our way over here. Take a look at this wall. Look how grand that is. I mean, you could put a massive TV if that's what you'd like, but of course, for the art lovers, this is a big piece. So if you do have some significant pieces, there's actually quite a bit of room for you to do this. I know this show suite has a lot of wallpaper, but you know, as we slowly move our way over here, I just want to show you, even this accent wall, we have this mirror, but you could, again, put another significant art piece. I love what they did with the floating shelves. I mean, but let's be honest, folks. Are we really gonna watch the TV? I mean, maybe when you're at the dining table, but then you should be talking to each other. Personally, I don't think you should be watching the TV. You can, but why when you could sit here, relax? This is a massive space. It's so open. You know, we have floor to sky windows, and of course, your gaze, I promise you, will get drawn out to this. Again, going back to the Science World orb, it just makes me think back to when I was 8 years old again. But you have the beautiful water, you have the downtown skyline, and Rogers Arena. At nighttime, the colors and everything else are absolutely majestic. And especially during the sunsets and the nighttime views, it's truly one of a kind. If we're talking about beautiful British Columbia or beautiful Vancouver, that's certainly a backdrop that one would think of. Now, before we gaze out there for too long, let's make our way out here to our 200 square foot patio. Wow. So, we have the gas bib, hose bib, electrical plug, a spacious, significant hangover, which, stops a lot of wind. But take a look at this. Protected views right here. You're literally looking right at the water. What a large space. You could really, this is a really big house, so you could hang out here, have some barbecues, drink your coffee, have some hot pot, whatever, or you just gaze out into the sunlight. Let's make our way back in. And I love this little copper design. Now, although there's 2 bedrooms, let's focus on the showstopper, the master bedroom. Let's go have a look. So the moment I come in, to my left, an incredible walk-in closet. Again, closet connoisseur, so this excites me like no other. Of course, we have this polyform smoke screen. But look how large this is. And again, everything is already built in. We have the leather watch holders. There's a number of things here, which is incredible. As we make our way in here, very well appointed, very spacious. And earlier we were just outside on the balcony space. So I don't know if you noticed, there is a doorway where you could access it as well. And the great thing about that, by having all these massive windows all around, you see the water, even from your bed. So every morning you wake up, or even before you go to sleep, some incredible, soothing, tranquil views. I take a look at this headboard. Oh, and you know what, before I forget, I love how right by the bedside, you have, you don't have to use this. You could use your phone with the Savant Pro, but I love how they know that sometimes you're busy, you might forget, but you can just hit the shade button. The shades go up, and also you have a good night button, folks, which means you forgot to leave your lights on, or you don't know, you think perhaps I might have left the lights on. Don't worry about it, you don't even need to get out of bed. If your wife or husband says, could you go turn off the lights? We've all been there. Just say, yes, dear, and done. Now, the master ensuite. This is really a spa-like retreat. Wow, okay, so as I was about to say, Toto Neo-Rest toilets, very technologically advanced. I'm not gonna go into too many details, but there's so many functions. And it's also separate and partitioned, which is nice. I feel like the term spa retreat for master en-suites gets overused. However, this feels like it. I personally wouldn't have a carpet in here. For those that do, let me know in the comments why you do that. We have this soaker tub. Now, this is super relaxing. I feel like it's actually pointed quite well. It takes up just enough space, and it also, because it's not fully attached to the wall, design-wise, it feels a little more open. I mean, in general, it is open. They even have this little indent with some more crevice lighting, which is really smart. We have the polyform cabinets, marble all around us, two sinks, double sink, massive vanities, which do open up. So extremely functional and lots of storage. And of course, the overhead shower systems with the vertical drains. And of course, heated floors. Well, I believe this is marble as well. Let's make our way back out here. So this space in itself is incredible. It's not even on the market as of right now. For some of the other units, starting on the lower floors, I believe it's on the 3rd floor, they start in the $3.4 million ranges. Us being on the 13th floor, you could expect this to be within the $5 million ranges, although it hasn't been priced exactly yet. But there is potential that they're gonna sell this particular show home with all the bells and whistles, designs, and the furniture together. And you know, between us, I feel like they did such an exceptional job. I don't say that too often because developers do put a lot of work into their show homes, but sometimes I feel it's so polarized, the style, that it might be, you know, loved by some and hated by many. But I truly find for this one in particular, the style is not only refined, extremely universal. For people that have good taste, I'm confident a lot will have an affinity towards this. Oh, but before I forget, there is a second bedroom. The second bedroom is also stunning, super functional. You have the massive polyform closets, extremely spacious, floor to sky window as well, which is nice. And it's also an ensuite with a shower. The scheme is a bit different. You have a bit of a copper hue, which I feel ties everything together. It's very beautiful, very different from the lighter scheme in the master bedroom. All right, folks, thank you so much for watching another video of Epic Home Tours. If you enjoyed that video, or better yet, if you know someone that might like what we do, please share this with them. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It means the world to me. Plus, it gives us the motivation and also the ability to continue making more videos. And you know, we have a lot of incredible properties that we're going to showcase. If you have any recommendations or suggestions, leave in the likes and comments. Leave in the comments, but definitely leave a like. And I'll catch you on the next one, folks. Ciao.